And we're going to see if this shorter kickstand lever will fit. Hopefully we can make it work. To get started on this, we are going to remove this nut right here that's covering the kickstand sensor or switch. That's a 10mm nut. And a deep well. Might be easier, but this one's deep enough. And we'll just set that aside. Then I need to remove this clip. We are just going to use a small flathead. In there, you just gotta work it out just like that. And set that aside also. That cover should then just pop right off. And we'll set that aside. Next, we're gonna remove these two screws holding the switch to the kickstand, and those are going to be a Torx bit. T25 is the size on those. Again, setting those aside. I don't know if these are going to go back in though. That's gonna take your switch loose. Next, we're gonna remove the springs here. There's actually an inner and an outer spring. To remove those, I'm just gonna put a flat bar or a flat screwdriver right there and just kind of pry it off the ends. So I had to use both hands. I got the larger spring pried off pretty easily. And the smaller one is a little more challenging. I might try and use some needle nose to pull it off. So for the inner spring, I'm putting some vice grips on there, and then I can just stretch it off. And it kind of needs both hands. Let's try though, holding it with my legs. Maybe you can see. Set those aside. Now our kickstand is just loose. So. Now to remove the kickstand, you'll need a 10mm and possibly a breaker bar. 10mm Allen key, Allen head. Come on. Once you get it broken, turned a little bit, you can turn the Allen key the other way so you're not catching up on this. The further we get on this, the more skeptical I am about this aftermarket one fitting that we bought off Amazon that says it fits, but work our way loose with that. Don't lose that spacer. Goes on the back there, and oh, there's a nut back there. I didn't realize that. It's actually loose on this. You see that back there? Let's try and get in there. So this bracket on the back, see that on this bike, there's actually a nut up here, and there it is. Now that we have that kickstand off, we can see this kickstand does not fit in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to go on there. It is not a correct fit for this bike, even though it was listed specifically for the G310. It does not fit, which is unfortunate because all the other ones I found that fit are way overpriced. I don't, yeah, no other options we have at this point. We could modify this kickstand and put it back. That might be what we do. We might take this and cut some out of it. And just cut a little bit off the bottom, 1.5 inches, and weld it back together. So it goes back together pretty much the same way it came apart. You can see we cut off 1 3/8, and we put a different foot on with a little bit wider pad. We just kind of cut it from some stock, painted it with some semi-gloss. Now we're just trying to get the springs back on. Use the vice grips, and there we go. We'd already put this in with the 10mm. I did use the vice grips here to kind of clamp it to hold it together. While I put that spacer in and stuck that in place, we did have to loosen the nut on the back a bit to get it to go on properly, but not too big of a deal. And we got our hardware on kicking all over here. There's everything. So, got our kickstand switch. to T25 nuts. Get that tight, we'll put the other one in. Up. And the cover goes right here. That was a 10 millimeter over here. Looks like something is not right here. What did I do wrong? Did I put the switch on wrong? Alright, let's pull that off and see. Maybe I put the switch on backwards or something. Yeah. I see what I did. Pull those back out. Right there. So that pin goes in that groove. That's where I messed up. Come on. And then before we tighten that up, we'll just make sure we got that correct this time. Why does it seem a little bit cockeyed? Maybe it's supposed to be a little cockeyed, huh? I think so. Okay, it's gonna go on, so I think that's fine. Tighten that up again. Cover on. Slip pin will go on here. we go. Tighten that 10 millimeter up. There we go. Now, drop the lift. Still recording?
Mm-hmm.
Drop the lift here and should rest right onto the kickstand. There we go. Foot's a little bit bigger than stock. Just slightly help it keep it from sinking in soft dirt and hot asphalt. Yeah. Got a nice lean on it, just about factory and perfect. And put stuff away. Before, Rennie was really tiptoeing. Now, his heel's not quite on the ground, but pretty close, huh?